It's Hack Across America for May 31st. I'm Darren Kitchen, and I am back here at the Hack 5 studio, hanging out and basically reconnoitering before I head back up to Seattle. We've got a huge meetup that's going to be on the 15th, so stay tuned for that, hackeracrossamerica.com for all the details. But basically, we're doing a tour of a living computer museum. We're going to the Metric Hackerspace. We're going to GameWorks to play classic arcade games. It's going to be awesome. And then we have an even bigger one lining up here for the 22nd of June in Los Angeles. So look out Washington, look out California. It's going to be huge. But with all of that said, I figured that I would address one of the questions that I keep getting, as it is Feedback Friday, if you will. I wanted to answer everybody that was basically saying, like, hey, how do you automate your process? You talked about that on Hack 5. But how do you get your video blogs up there? What's the script? What's the secret mojo? And so I figured I would show you because I'm doing some tweaks to it right now with the help of Colleen. And basically, what I use is an awesome piece of software here called Episode Pro from Telestream. This is really cool stuff. This is like, enterprise grade, film studio stuff that they use. And basically, the way that this works is very simply with a couple of watch folders and a bunch of cool plugins. But the way that the workflow is there's a monitor, and so this monitor is basically kind of like a cron job. It just keeps scanning this folder, and if the video encode fails, it puts it in this folder. Video encode is successful, it puts in that folder. So I always have masters, which is great. And then it goes into the encoding phase, which is really cool because you can toy with the format to your heart's content. You can choose all the different containers that you might think of. We're using an MPEG TS. All the different video encoders, we're using an H.264 encoder. They've got X.264 as well as main concept. AAC for the audio. But what's really nice about this is in the video encoding, you can really tweak to your heart's content. We've got like 90 keyframe interval instead of 30, and you can set your quality and all of that stuff. You can really get nitty gritty here. But I also have these plugins which allow me to do cool things like the intro and outro. See, that's the most important to me, is I want every video to have that Hack Across America intro with me standing in front of the van and the engine, and I want the outro to show hackeracrossamerica.com so that people that are new or whatever know where the central point is on this project. You can do a bunch of other stuff like time codes and other stuff like that. But basically, that's what I'm most interested in doing. And then the deployment phase, so you can see this workflow. The deployment goes up to YouTube. Sign in with your YouTube, your one-time password, come up with a site-specific, and then here's why it's so important that I rename the file, because it actually generates the title of the video based on the file name. See, $source.filename, you probably hard to see that there, but basically you can use all of these different variables to be used in the deployment on YouTube, and then I can add the description and the category and the keywords and all of those other things that you might expect. And this is beautiful because from my perspective, all I do is I hit record on my phone, I start talking, I hit stop, I rename the file, and then I use share file to upload it over to a watch folder, and then Episode Pro does all the rest, and I don't really have to think about it. That all said, this is enterprise stuff. I mean, this is what like film studios use to process thousands of assets. I'm just using it from a little video blog here. But if you want to do something similar, there are scripts that will take advantage of libav or ffmpeg, for example. And this is an open source audio and video processing tool. It's really cool GPL stuff, and basically using that or ffmpeg, you can actually concatenate files together. And then that will, put your head and the tail on it, as you will. And there's a couple of different ways to get it up to YouTube. There's the YouTube-upload. It's a command line script for Linux. It's written in Python that basically allows you to, you could use a cron job for your watch folder. You could use, another cron job for a different watch folder to upload it or whatever have you. You'd also use the YouTube API to upload videos. There's a bunch of different ways to do that. But I figured I would show you about the process because I love processes. I mean, I worked in IT for long enough to know it's all about automation. So anytime that I can do that and make my life easier now, I'm going to do. And so that's my Feedback Friday for you guys. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and I will see you guys on the road. Woohoo, Seattle!